Next, let's queer up gay culture, celebrating the vibrant tapestry of queer slang. Here's the tea, baby. In the ever-evolving landscape of language and culture, the influence of queer identity shines brightly. From the vibrant melodies of Taylor Swift songs to the witty banter of YouTube sensations ABBA and Preach, queer slang has firmly entrenched itself in today's society, transcending boundaries of race, orientation, and geography. It deserves a closer look. Dating back centuries, queer slang, affectionately known as lavender language, has woven its way through history, providing a means of communication for marginalized communities. From the clandestine whispers of Polari to the colorful expressions of Gayle, queer slang has always been a tool of empowerment and solidarity. How can we miss the flamboyant ballrooms of 1980s New York City, where the colorful tapestry of Swardspeak emerged, blending Tagalog, English, and the names of celebrities into a new language? This was captured beautifully in Ryan Murphy's TV show Pose. TV critics suggested that the spoken language of Pose was actually a character in the show. While these languages may differ in origin and form, they share a common thread: their genesis as a means of identification and connection within the queer community. As the world celebrates Pride Month, it's a poignant reminder of the enduring impact queer culture has had on shaping not only language, but also pop culture at large. In a society still grappling with issues of acceptance and equality, the celebration and recognition of queer language serve as a beacon of hope and progress. It's a testament to the resilience and creativity of community that has fought tirelessly for visibility and representation. Most important of all, it is uniquely part of our LGBTQ plus culture. So talk about the tea, right? So, but there's, we have so much queer slang now that it's kind of crossed over where straight people use it so much, so we forget that it's queer slang, right?
They appropriate.
Just saying you pass, right? You pass means that you pass as a straight person, right? That straight people wouldn't know that, right? Or you read somebody, you tell somebody off, right? Or you give somebody shade. You might give them a side eye, or you ain't talking to them today, A diaper dyke might be a new dyke, right? She just came out. Or an LUG, a lesbian until graduation. That's one of my favorite. That was one of my favorites in college. You know Candy. Anyway, so Candy was my friend. She was in a dorm adjacent to mine, and she was only gay during college. Like she said, once college was over, she was done. She was going to find a man and get married. Later to the story, she ended up finding Lauren, and they ended up being together, and they're still together. Happy anniversary, bitches. But, so queer slang is just everywhere, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's how maybe we began to communicate when we weren't out and weren't able to be so out like we are now. And now it's kind of part of pop culture and part of straight people's worlds also.
Well, that is, my husband is from the UK and was actually familiar with this Polari, which is when they're just putting together words from different languages to kind of speak a little bit undercover. Very popular in the 60s in the UK. And I didn't realize like two big terms that we use are from there, like calling a young guy chicken. That's Polari. And calling a guy trade. I thought that was ours. I thought that was American, but
you would. So
Americanocentric, I know. But it's actually from British closeted men that would work in the trade industry that would be either paid or compensated for their time with wealthier, more out gays. I think it's absolutely fascinating to understand our language like this.
I know I was gagged the first time on television I saw straight people use, the first time I saw straight people use shady. It's a very specific reference. I was watching the Real World season 14 reunion, and one character was like, "You were being shady when you said this in the press." I'm like, how the fuck you know about shady? Where the fuck y'all learned that from? Now, there is a strict line between gay slang and gay internet slang, because it doesn't always translate. Like when all the kids were using wig, I didn't know what the fuck that was about. And then Katy Perry used it on American Idol, and it made even less sense. So there's
wig? Did you say wig?
Confused now. Like my eyes
Isn't that what's on your head?
No, girl.
No, that's all natural.
Right, I just combed it out, put it in the updo.
So what is wig? You gonna leave us on that?
I don't know either.
No, but also because it's Juneteenth, we also have to recognize that half of queer slang is actually just black slang.
Exactly.
Black slang becomes gay slang, becomes like white woman slang, and that's just
marginalized becomes marginalized slang.
That's the progression. But I think what's really, really interesting when we talk about like straight people using queer slang, we keep talking about Polari. I was actually looking a little bit deeper into Polari for a TikTok video that I made, and just like earlier this week, and I discovered that zhuzh is from Polari, which I was not aware of. I mean, I grew up with like my mom would say zhuzh it up like all the time. And, like she doesn't go to drag bars.
And then Jasmine Masters just made it like her thing.
That just goes to show, you know, the queer people come in and even neighborhoods, we come in, we make them nice, and then people
That's called gentrification. There's the word.
and then they open up the smoothie shops and then they raise the rent every time.
No, Sydney's like, they stole our language.
Exactly. They stole our language. Some of my favorites, and you know, I used this back in the 80s and 90s, is beard. You know,
that's a good one.
You know, going to the office party with my boyfriend here, who was my beard.
Oh, I was used as a beard so many times.
Oh, yeah.
Child, I had a beard. I thought she was a lesbian, honestly. I also dated a lesbian. Look at us. All three of us dated a lesbian.
Yeah, and you know, a baby dyke. I was a baby butch. I was a baby butch. Now that I'm an old lady, I don't know. I can't be a baby butch anymore. Am I like a...
What do you want to be? Dinosaur butch?
Dinosaur
OG butch.
Dinosaur dyke.
We just created slang right here.
There you go.
Just like that, honey.
Although I don't know how many other older folks would accept the dinosaur, but I think it's fun.
I don't think I'm allowed to use the word, and I just heard
Listen,
it.
and then when you start looking for older ladies, it's dinosaur diving, right?
Oh, yeah, that's
I'll
good.
throw a party, I'm telling you.
It's called carbon dating.